Imagine you are home alone, and suddenly a sharp, searing pain rips through your chest. You gasp for air, your heart races out of control, a cold sweat breaks out all over you, and severe dizziness threatens to make you collapse. In that endless moment, you realize the gravity of the situation. If you only had a few seconds of consciousness left, how would you act? In this video, I will reveal 3 simple, effective, and scientifically backed methods that could save your life during a heart attack. If your goal is to maintain your youth, strength, and a life free of ailments, you have come to the right place. In this space, we focus on longevity, smart exercising, and how to protect your body against aging. Support us by subscribing and turning on notifications. You never know when a piece of information like this could save a life. Also, let me know in the comments section which area of your body you want to strengthen this year. A couple of years ago, my Uncle Luis, a highly active 68-year-old man who rarely sat still and always went for a walk after lunch, was alone in his living room. All of a sudden, a brutal tightness in his chest, which he compared to the weight of an elephant, struck him. As he struggled to breathe with trembling hands, he remembered his father, my grandfather, who passed away at 76, a victim of a heart attack in complete isolation. Although that thought froze him for a moment, it was also the trigger to act. What happened next was incredible. Luis decided to fight. In that critical moment, some simple cardiovascular prevention methods he had learned at a conference a while back flashed through his mind, maneuvers so easy that anyone could perform them at home. Thanks to putting them into practice, he stayed alive and conscious, though struggling to breathe, until the paramedics arrived. That event completely transformed his destiny and made our entire family realize the value of knowing how to react in an emergency. The truth is, heart attacks strike without warning. According to the World Health Organization, heart disease claims the lives of over 7 million people annually, and a large portion of these deaths occur in those crucial moments before reaching the hospital. Despite the alarming numbers, immediate intervention can increase your chances of survival by up to 50%, a margin that determines whether you will hug your loved ones again or say goodbye to them forever. A heart attack occurs when an artery supplying blood to the heart becomes blocked, causing heart tissue to begin dying within minutes. For this reason, knowing how to identify the warning signs is crucial. An oppressive chest pain that radiates to the arm, jaw, or back, shortness of breath, dizziness, nausea, and a sudden cold sweat breaking out across your body. If you experience these symptoms while alone, there is no room for hesitation. You must react immediately, as the first 5 minutes are critical. It is essential to clarify that the recommendations I am about to share will never replace professional medical care. The absolute priority is always to contact emergency services. However, these 3 strategies act as a lifeline that will help you buy valuable minutes, maintain consciousness, and ease the burden on your heart while the ambulance arrives. The first method consists of a strong, controlled cough, referred to by some specialists as therapeutic coughing. Extraordinary as it may seem, this was the very first step my Uncle Luis took when the discomfort began. Science behind therapeutic coughing and how to do it. He pressed his chest, took a deep breath, and began to cough with as much energy as possible, mimicking the action of expelling an object that was choking him. What is the scientific explanation behind this? By breathing deeply and coughing forcefully, the pressure within the chest cavity increases significantly. This mechanical action pumps blood toward the brain and the heart itself, keeping them supplied with oxygen just as the cardiac system begins to fail. It works similarly to giving slight jolts to a stalling engine to keep it running. To perform it correctly, the procedure is extremely simple. Take a deep breath in, close your mouth, and generate the cough from deep within your chest, never from your throat. The effort must be forceful and sharp, simulating an internal impact, repeating the action every 2 seconds over the course of a minute. Although dealing with the intensity of the pain can be difficult, making even a few attempts can change your fate. According to research by the American Heart Association, using this method immediately can increase the chances of survival by 30%. Imagine the impact of that figure. 3 out of 10 people who would have passed away managed to save themselves through the simple act of coughing. The most common mistake is doing it weakly, as if it were a simple cold, which yields no results. The key is for it to be a powerful, deep, and rhythmic movement. Another recurring error is forgetting to take a breath before each forced exhalation, as that breath of oxygen is indispensable for driving blood flow. For this reason, it is advisable to practice it once a week. Sit down, take a deep breath, and cough firmly 5 consecutive times. This way, in an emergency, your body will react automatically. Consider the real-life case of Doña Maria, a 72-year-old woman who, while cooking, felt a tightness in her chest that forced her to lean against the table. Recalling a video that explained this maneuver, she inhaled deeply and coughed with all her might. Thanks to that quick reaction, she managed to stay conscious until her son returned home and rushed her to a medical center. Today, she continues to enjoy life thanks to that simple action. Now, what should you do if the discomfort is so acute that it blocks your breathing, or if this method is not enough to stabilize you? That is the exact scenario where the second strategy must be applied: the precordial thump. The principle and execution of the chest thump. Although it may seem like an extreme measure, this method has rescued many people in critical moments. Its effectiveness lies in the fact that the heart, besides being a muscle, operates through electrical impulses. Therefore, a well-targeted impact on the correct area can restore its rhythm, similar to giving a sharp tap to a stalled engine to make it start. To perform it correctly, you must close your fist firmly and use the side of it, the pinky finger area, to strike right in the center of the chest, exactly on the line between the nipples, avoiding any deviation toward the neck or the abdomen. Apply this blow in a top-to-bottom motion, maintaining a rhythm of once per second and limiting yourself to a maximum of 5 or 6 repetitions. Each impact aims to stimulate cardiac electrical activity. Various studies published in specialized cardiology medical journals support that, in the face of certain arrhythmias or an imminent cardiac arrest, this mechanical stimulus is capable of normalizing the heartbeat. It is not a trick, but rather physical laws applied to our anatomy. However, it is vital to take precautions. You must not strike in an uncontrolled manner. Exerting excessive force or missing the exact location can be counterproductive, and exceeding 6 consecutive impacts increases the risk of suffering an internal injury. The success of this maneuver depends entirely on precision and moderation. I invite you to locate the area right now without hurting yourself. Place your hand over the central bone of your chest, the sternum, and give a few light, superficial taps to lock in the exact location. This sensory exercise will help you memorize the correct spot, preventing you from wasting crucial moments looking for where to strike during a crisis. Lastly, the third strategy is less popular but highly effective. It is acupressure on the Niguan point, or PC6, a technique derived from traditional Chinese medicine that has been used for centuries to regulate the pulse and optimize blood flow. Today, scientific research has proven that stimulating this area helps regulate heart palpitations and lower blood pressure in emergency situations. This point is located on the hand, specifically in the soft region between the thumb and index finger. To put it into practice, place your hand with the palm facing down, locate that space, and press firmly with the thumb of your opposite hand for 5 seconds. After that, release the pressure for 2 seconds and repeat the process for a full minute. It is fundamental to accompany this action with deep inhalations, as oxygen enhances the result. When my Uncle Luis felt he was losing consciousness, he resorted to this method. He told me that while he pressed the area, he forced himself to breathe with total serenity, which gave him the necessary endurance to avoid fainting before the paramedics arrived. Common mistakes and the importance of breathing. The medical personnel who provided first aid assured that if he had not executed some maneuver to preserve clarity, he most likely would have passed out much sooner. The most common mistake when using this method consists of squeezing so hard that it causes a bruise. The technique does not require rough handling, but rather a constant pressure that generates just a slight discomfort. Likewise, it is an error to decouple the pressure from slow inhalations and exhalations, given that the effectiveness of the exercise decreases significantly if you do not breathe properly. To conclude, a study released in the year 2023 focused on the use of acupressure during critical situations determined that the stimulation of this specific point is capable of reducing blood pressure levels by 10% in a matter of a few minutes. This method does not represent a magical solution, but it is an effective tool to maintain clarity while you wait for medical assistance. When suffering a heart attack, every moment counts. Therefore, it is essential that you memorize this immediate action plan. At the first symptoms, cough forcefully every 2 seconds for 1 minute. If you do not notice any improvement, apply up to a maximum of 6 controlled thumps to the central part of the chest. And if you feel like you are going to pass out, exert pressure on the soft point of the hand while taking deep breaths. These are 3 elementary actions that have the power to save your life. The importance of prevention and the first habit. Despite the usefulness of these resources, the smartest strategy is not reaction, but preventing the problem from appearing in the first place. A heart attack does not emerge suddenly. Rather, it is the consequence of accumulating harmful habits over time. In order to protect your cardiovascular system and drastically reduce the odds of suffering this type of event, I suggest adopting 5 very simple daily routines. The first consists of taking a 20-minute walk a day. There is no need for extreme effort. Regularity is what is crucial. Staying active stimulates blood flow, strengthens the heart muscle, and, according to research by the Mayo Clinic, decreases the risk of suffering a heart attack by 25%. If it is more convenient for you, you can split this time into 2 10-minute walks. The second habit consists of dedicating 2 minutes each day to guided breathing exercises. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold the oxygen briefly, and exhale slowly over 6 seconds, repeating this sequence 10 times. This practice stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps moderate the heartbeat and stabilize blood pressure. In fact, studies show that people with hypertension can see improvements of up to 15%. Finally, the third indispensable habit to shield your body is paying attention to what you eat and maintaining nutrition aimed at protecting your heart. The third habit includes consuming oily fish, such as fresh tuna or salmon, twice a week, as well as adding fruits packed with antioxidants, such as grapes, oranges, and blueberries, to your diet while reducing ultra-processed products. A 2001 Harvard University report confirmed that this dietary model significantly reduces LDL, bad cholesterol, and protects the arteries. As a fourth habit, it is fundamental to eradicate smoking and moderate alcohol intake. Smoking quadruples the chances of a heart attack and directly damages blood vessel walls, while alcohol abuse triggers inflammatory processes and raises blood pressure. If your goal is to live longer and with vitality, it is time to cut out these vices that drain your health. The last habit and the shield of prevention. The fifth habit is as simple as it is crucial. Monitor your blood pressure weekly using a home blood pressure monitor. Hypertension is known as the silent killer because it presents no warning signs until the damage is severe. Keeping a regular record gives you the control to identify abnormalities before they escalate into a crisis. Adopting these 5 behaviors will transform your well-being. Every walk, every mindful breath, every nutritious meal, every week away from excesses, and every blood pressure check works like a brick building a fortress to protect your cardiovascular system for many, many years. Visualize the situation once again. You are alone. You feel a tightness in your chest. But instead of letting yourself be carried away by fear, you remember this valuable guide. You cough forcefully. Apply thumps to your chest if necessary. Stimulate the pressure point on your hand and maintain a calm breathing pattern while you wait for the arrival of the ambulance you have already requested. Knowing how to react determines whether you will reunite with your loved ones, since surviving a heart attack is not a matter of chance, but of being ready. This protection begins today through the practice of these methods and the improvement of your lifestyle. I advise you to write these instructions down on a piece of paper and place it in a busy spot in your home. Share them with your friends and family. Tomorrow, this knowledge could be the reason a loved one manages to save their life. Rest assured that there will be no greater satisfaction than knowing you helped someone. If this content has been useful to you, spread it among your family and friends. A simple gesture can mark the difference between life and death. If this information reaches the right person at the exact moment they need it, it could become a true miracle. In this community, we focus on strength, longevity, and authentic well-being, because it makes no sense to develop a large musculature if your cardiovascular system is not ready to keep up with you. Our goal is for you to build a firm physique, but one backed by a robust heart capable of resisting the passage of time. Before concluding, I would like to ask you a question. Have you or any of your loved ones ever experienced a heart-related emergency? Let me know in the comments. Sharing your experience can inspire others to take their health seriously and stay prepared. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join our mission to train intelligently, treating our bodies with the respect they deserve. In this space, we understand that self-care is the ultimate expression of self-love, something that rewards you with a longer life full of vitality. Always keep in mind that when it comes to a heart attack, time is crucial, and you only have a few short seconds to act. Cough forcefully, apply precise thumps to the chest, stimulate the pressure point on your hand, and contact emergency medical services. Afterward, shield your health by adopting better daily habits. That is the key to leaving fear behind and living with complete peace of mind. If you want to keep expanding your knowledge, in our next video I will reveal which food products accelerate the deterioration of your heart without you even noticing. Click on the video appearing on your screen to find out, and start taking care of yourself from this very moment.